YouTube, Matt Emroy back again. Well, today I have kind of an unusual thrift store find for you, and I kind of got the inspiration to get this and do the video from a gentleman on YouTube called Lazy Game Reviews. He has a segment he does every couple of months called Oddware. And generally, it's usually PC peripherals, keyboards, joysticks, things like that that are odd and you may never have seen before. Actually, the first video I did when it came to vintage games like this was that Simon game. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. This one's a little bit more modern, but still would be considered on the vintage side. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Space Age Hangman 2001. It's a 10-category game, and it's basically the game of Hangman. If you look down here, there is a one-line, I believe it's like a 15-character LCD screen, not backlit. Under here you have what's aptly named the chiclet keyboards. It is a QWERTY keyboard, you can see it right there, for the most part, but of course it's missing the general keys. It has no function keys or arrow keys to speak of. Space is right here. You have a clear button, an enter button. You have two different types of games you can play, and then of course your on and off switch. I really like the graphics on the face of this. For a game this age, it really speaks to the 80s. And from what I researched, I believe this came out sometime around 1988 or 89. Turning to the back here, you can see that it was produced by Finkel Electronics in Ashland, Oregon. And there's the U.S. patent number. Kind of interesting, a lot of these older electronics had a patent pending, so apparently this one may have been a later release, because this one, they actually have the patent number on there. Now, this runs on 4 AA batteries, and it has that little felt piece that makes it easy to pull them out. If you pull up on this, all 4 batteries will just pop out, so you kind of have to run this to the bottom, and then it just sits right on top when you close the door. On the door, even though it's an American idea, I guess you could say, it is definitely made in China, like most modern day electronics are, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and put the battery cover back on. You can see I gave basically $2 for it. It's supposed to say $1.98, but I guess somebody was being cute, and I'm not even sure what the heck that last number is supposed to be. You can see that it has 4 screws. It's actually, I'm sorry, it looks like 6. You got 2 here, 2 on the bottom, and then 2 on the top. Probably fairly easy to take apart, but I'm not going to do that because older electronics like this are very temperamental. I'm sure there might be some cables, especially going to the battery compartment, that might be brittle, and I don't want to risk damaging it. Before I turn it on, I'll show you this page that I printed on the internet. I got it from, let me see the website, there you go, Trademarks411.com. And this just shows you some information about this particular electronic handheld game. See, it's called the Space Age Hangman. That's a serial number, I guess, of the specific one that they had, and then the registration number. Here's what I found interesting. The registration date is August 7th, 1990, but the filing date was December 7th, 1989. Now, if they're talking about the patent, that is a really quick response. My uncle has tried to get patents on several of his inventions, and I've never seen one take less than 2 or 3 years. So either they knew somebody in the office, or they just got really lucky. Cancellation date, that must have been when the either the patent expired, or they just called in because they said they weren't making it anymore. I'm not sure what that means. It just says it's a word game, and it is. Published for opposition. Looks like somebody opposed this patent at one time, probably because they had some other type of Hangman device. And there's a registration number for the opposition. And I guess they were trying to do a trademark. A few more things up here. Even tells you the law office assigned for the opposition. And it dead. Looks like the lawsuit didn't work out for him. Everything was canceled. And oh, here's the information about the owner. This is the person that actually invented it, Finkel Herbert, and you can actually see their address right there. I guess that was I'm guessing that was probably his business address. I know Sunnyvale is part of Silicon Valley in California, and I guess that was his attorney at the time. Lived in San Jose. Actually, that's where my uncle used to live. And here's just a review of this. I'm more than satisfied with the excellent service I received from Trademarks 411. The process was simple and easy for me because they did all the hard work and kept me informed on every stage. I recommend Trademarks 411 to everyone. This site is really, really interesting. I haven't really had a chance to research it all that much, but I do know that they have a lot of these vintage games information about them that you just can't get anywhere else. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and turn this beast on. Just hit the on button. And you can see it says Hangman 2001. And it does take a minute to load. Again, this is a vintage game. And you can see the full man right there. I'm sure most guys know how to play Hangman. You choose a letter for the word. In this case, the computer chooses the word. And you have to keep choosing a letter to try to guess what the word is. And hopefully you guess it before the man comes into existence, because each time you guess wrong, another piece of him shows up. Alright, so we'll choose Game 1. 10 categories for Game 1. You got to make your selection. Let's see. You got American slang, and to choose you hit the Game 1 button. Baseball lingo, child classics, ecology, food fun, occupations, space terms, U.S. history, wildlife, vocabulary A, vocabulary B, vocabulary C, and then you're back to American slang. So let's go ahead and choose, let's see what looks interesting. How about food fun? That sounds interesting. Now once you chose that, you just hit enter. And wow, you can see this is multiple words and phrases. So what we have to do now is think of what that first letter might be. I'm going to say it's a T. Oh, I was wrong there. So you can see the head appears. Let's see what else it might be. Maybe a P. Yep. That was a P, so the letter stays there, and of course we don't get another body part for the Hangman. I'm guessing maybe it's a U. Something like put. Okay, I was wrong, so now we got part of the torso showing up. Probably an O then. Nope, there was an O there, but there was an O in that part of the word. Let's see. This is kind of interesting. Let's try an E. We're going to go through the vowels here. Oh, there were two E's there. One here and one there. And what I'm going to do is play through this a little bit, and I'll be back in just... Okay, I picked a few more right letters, the E and the A. And I think you guys can pretty much guess what this is. It's pi, ah. So let's see, I think that one's an L. And I was right, pa ala what? Well, you know what? I think it's pi ala mode, so let's try that. Got an M, and the last one would be a D. There we go. And there's my score. And of course it goes right to the to a new game. Now, I'm going to switch over here to Game 2. Now, with Game 2, you can actually enter a word yourself. And this is, of course, for 2 players. So, let's just write in kitten. And then hit enter. And then, of course, you'd give this to your partner, and then they'd have to guess and see if they could figure out what the word is. So, kind of a neat little throwback. I mean, I'm sure modern day kids probably wouldn't find this too interesting, but I figured for the $2 I paid for it, it was well worth the money. You know, it's something that I can while away the times, and I'll probably show this to my younger cousins, because this is about 10 years older than they are, and they might find it interesting. Well, I hope you guys found this video interesting, and remember to always like and subscribe, and as always, have a blessed day, everybody.